Okay, so I want to do a short video kind of updating everyone on AFK Aura. The main things that I need to talk about are Blockstrap removed multi-instancing, and Roblox Account Manager now has a Trojan virus. So if you update to newer versions of Roblox Account Manager, if you have old versions of Roblox Account Manager, I believe as long as you don't update it, you're okay. But I've tested my old version of Account Manager and it doesn't work anymore. So, from what I know, you're not able to run 10 accounts like you used to be able to. I don't recommend you set them up because you can't do that anymore. The strength of AFK Aura was running 10 or more accounts with Game Pass or Game Pass and Premium. Now, the best you can do is two accounts on your PC, maybe one account on your phone if you can get it to not to actually stay AFK, or and then maybe one on your console if you can keep it from going from not being AFK. And that's assuming you have a phone and you have a console. So we'll say at best you can run four accounts practically, or most people can. Maybe three accounts if you don't have a console and you're only a PC player. So you're not going to be able to make really any money, and I don't think it's worth it. Paying $5 a month for premium isn't it isn't really worth it because you're not going to use the Robux back on this game again. So that's my advice. I would just say you avoid this entirely. And getting into the rate, again, I made a video about the full AFK Aura rates a while ago. It still holds up. It's still the same values. That spreadsheet is still accurate. It's just the market has inflated since that video was made. So it being, 40 million a week sounding ridiculously great back then, Divine was way cheaper. You could actually buy a Divine in a reasonable amount of time back then. Now Divine is, 50 mil. So let's say you have two accounts running on your PC, you earn 8 million a week, leaving them on 24/7, never using your PC to play on them. So your accounts you're buying premium on and, playing the game on, you're not allowed to actually use. You can't get them off Deathball. You can't play main game, can't play trading. They have to be 24/7 in AFK Aura for that rate. 8 mil a week is nothing in this economy because it's not that hard for Divine to inflate more. So it's just the gem rate is really bad compared to how expensive everything is. And Sub again abandoned the game 5 months ago. It's not going to get updated again. Rainbow will probably never be removed. There will be no new packs. So investing your money into a dying game, let alone, doesn't make sense. But the value for money you're getting is even worse than when the game was in a good spot. So I just wouldn't recommend it. If you want to gamble, that's kind of the only thing. Now, you're probably going to burn everything, but the game's getting to a point where it's almost more just to keep yourself more sane. It's more reasonable for you to gamble something and maybe hit it big to possibly get the item you want than to, chance it or like to actually build up normally. So it's kind of bad. I wouldn't really recommend getting AFK or just trading in this game in general because it's also getting to the point where again there's 2% tax on every transaction. If you sell your divine, there's a 1 mil tax I believe now because yeah it's 2% of 50 mil. If I did the math wrong, I did the math wrong, but I think it's a mil. Maybe it's 500K. I don't know. It's a ridiculous amount. You need to sell your divine for 52 or 53 mil instead of 50, and we're getting to the point where values are so insane, trying to get people to pay enough to where you're making money with the tax is going to be harder and harder because there's less and less traders that have value that are willing to trade. A lot of the veteran traders sell off of their gems or items and then quit. That's been a very common thing in this game. So you'll see people sell off, all of their items and then just drop the game entirely. I know at least a few people that have sold like S Divines, S Amethyst, and then quit before the economy really started inflating to the point it has now. So I just don't really recommend it. Like just getting into the game in general, if you're not into it yet. And if you're into it, there's not really a way we can counter inflation. AFK Aura was kind of a band-aid. You pay sub a ridiculous amount of money, great, you have income and you can start buying items again. Well, now that insane method where you're paying an absurd amount of money for an absurd amount of income, that income isn't crazy anymore. So there's nothing you can do. There's no loophole that exists anymore that we can abuse. That was the loophole, and then we're done. And I think it's the dying stages of trading basically because if running 10 accounts in AFK Aura and paying that much money doesn't get you an absurd amount of wealth, then nothing does. If you trade like crazy, like let's say you trade 8 hours a day for a week, you'll make good money, but you're never going to catch up to a divine or something. You could make 10 mil or, 5 mil or something like that, possibly. But that's if you go absolutely crazy and you're just naturally a pretty gifted trader. So I don't really recommend it. You're more likely to get handouts or win through scamming nowadays, which is kind of sad. And I don't recommend people scam or, you know, give away a bunch of their stuff, but it's more reasonable for you to find someone that's already filthy rich that just has an item they don't care about than it is for you to really build up nowadays. So just the basic thing is I don't recommend you buy AFK Aura, especially with the Roblox account manager and blockstrap things. It's just sketchy and you don't make enough for it to be worth your money. But yeah. I mean, if you have a filthy amount of money, let's say you're older, like, in your 30s or late 20s, or you have a really good job in your 20s, sure, go for it. If you want to burn money, burn money. But this isn't the kind of thing where if you're a kid and you just have a Roblox gift card, you shouldn't be buying this. This is not going to be worth it for you. You're not going to get enough out of this, in my opinion. Sub needs to come back and actually fix the economy, which the problem is there's not much he can do. Back when I was making the prediction, he would update the economy and actually try to address the economy issues. That was really the last point that he could have done something. Because just looking at trading quickly, the gem values are so insane. If something like Amethyst drops to 750k, there are people in the hundreds of thousands. Oh, it's glitched again. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you've got the whole leaderboard has a ridiculous amount of gems. So it just doesn't work. Because all these people would just buy back in. Uh, Also, ignore this. Some of these people are banned. This guy I think is banned. I heard he's banned. This one's banned. I don't know about anyone else. Some of the people get banned for cross trade or scamming or that kind of stuff. So who knows? But that's pretty much it. So have a good one.